Today, we're going to go deep underground to look at a creature that seems to throw the basic rules of anatomy right out the window. It's a discovery that proves some of the biggest secrets on Earth aren't in some far-off jungle. They're hiding in plain sight. All right, let's dive into this.
I mean, really think about that for a second. We always imagine oceans and rivers just teeming with life. But what about the water that's literally right beneath the ground you're standing on?
Well, the answer to that question, it turns out, was hiding somewhere totally unexpected. In a simple village well, researchers found something that would rewrite a small but pretty significant part of our understanding of life on Earth.
To really get this story, you first have to appreciate that beneath the surface, there are these huge networks of water-soaked rock and soil. They're called aquifers. And here's the thing, they aren't just sterile reservoirs. Nope, they are entire ecosystems. And for the most part, we have barely even started to explore them.
So, let's head over to a village in Assam at the foothills of the Shillong Plateau. Now, the researchers here weren't exploring some deep, dark, inaccessible cave system. They were just looking into a regular old dugout well, the kind a community uses for water. It is literally the last place you would expect to find a major scientific breakthrough. And yet, that is exactly what happened. From this, they pulled out a tiny, almost ghost-like fish, something science had never, ever documented before. They named it Gitchak Nakana.
So look, finding a new fish species is always cool. But what makes Gitchak Nakana so incredibly special? Well, this little creature is basically a masterclass in evolution, and it has a feature so strange it has genuinely stunned scientists.
To appreciate just how unique it is, we need to know this term, troglomorphic traits. I know, it's a fancy word, but it's just a way of describing the cool adaptations animals develop when they live their entire lives in complete darkness. Think of it as nature's ultimate minimalist design plan.
Now, Gitchak Nakana checks all the classic boxes. It has no eyes. I mean, why would you need them in total darkness, right? It has no skin color, which takes a lot of energy to make and is useless without light. And it's miniature, perfectly built for its tiny underground home. But this is just where the story starts to get really weird. So get this is the crucial point. The fish has a complete absence of a skull roof. Let me say that again. Its brain isn't protected by bone on top, just a layer of skin. This is a feature we have not seen in any other related fish species. It's a truly radical adaptation. When you actually see a typical fish next to Gitchak Nakana, the differences are just stark. You can really see how extreme its evolution has been. It shed its eyes, its color, and most shockingly, the very bone that's supposed to protect its brain. It's a creature that has been perfectly, if bizarrely, sculpted by its dark, hidden world.
Okay, all of this sounds incredibly unique, but just how rare is a discovery like this in the grand scheme of things? To understand that, we kind of need to zoom out for a little more context.
You might see this number and think, whoa, over 300 species of underground fish? That seems like a lot. But that number hides a really important distinction about where these fish actually live. And here's the reveal. The vast majority of these fish, something like 90% of them, live in caves. They're cave dwellers. Fewer than 10% actually live in the groundwater aquifers themselves, in those waterlogged layers of rock and sand. That makes aquifer dwellers, like our little friend Gitchak Nakana, exceptionally rare finds.
And that brings us to this crucial fact. It's not just a rare aquifer dweller, it is the very first one ever discovered in all of Northeast India. This one little discovery is putting a whole new region on the map for this type of hidden biodiversity.
So, okay, we've got a tiny, blind, skull-less fish found in a well. Why does this matter to anyone who isn't a fish specialist? Well, this discovery actually has some surprisingly big implications for all of us.
Let's break it down. First, it proves that there's a world of hidden life right under our feet that we know almost nothing about. Second, it suggests that there could be entire undiscovered underground ecosystems all across Asia. And third, and this is maybe the most important part, this little fish is like a canary in a coal mine. It's a bioindicator, a little warning signal that these fragile groundwater systems, which so many of us depend on for water, are living ecosystems that desperately need our protection.
And that's really the key takeaway from the researchers themselves. This discovery isn't just some scientific curiosity, it's a call to action. We have to recognize and conserve these vital, invisible ecosystems that support such unique life.
And that just leaves us with a final thought. We've explored the deepest oceans and the highest mountains. But this discovery reminds us that some of nature's biggest secrets might still be hiding in the most ordinary of places. If a creature this unique can hide in a village well, what else is down there? Just waiting in the dark.